New Overkill, y'all. Alright, this is Jersey's finest. Gotta wait for it to do its setup, right? What's going on, guys? Now it's been a couple weeks. Anyway, this is called The Grinding Wheel. It's Overkill's newest album that came out, I don't know, it came out like a week ago. Gotta try to sneak this one in. You know, these videos have been getting on me about this freaking copyright crap, so maybe I can sneak this one by before the record labels get to it. Cut me off. But anyway, I don't know what I'm doing this week. It's been a while since I've done some kind of musical review, so I decided to, I don't know, I'm not sure what you call this list. It's not a specific category. It's going to be a music 10. Kind of a top 10. I guess you could say it's a top 10. But I haven't even finished it. But what do you call it? All right. If you've ever seen the movie Almost Famous, what's his name? Lester Bangs, goes into the radio station and starts just spewing out, what I would imagine Lester Bangs would do. But he said true music, chooses you, lives in your car, all that shit, and it is. It's one of those things where you can't tell anybody what to like or what not to like, because it's one of those things you go through life in your own little way and you've experienced your own things and you never know what's going to call to you, So I've kind of made like just a random top 10, and I wanted to do it quick. I wanted to make a quick top 10 off the top of my head, top 10 albums that, I just got to have around or I constantly revisit just because I gotta, I'm talking about the entire albums. I'm not talking about it's one song here or one song there or anything like that. It's an albums that are just, you just easily listen to over and over and over and over again. I mean, just over and over again. You never get sick of it. There's not that many that qualify, I don't think, in the category of, all right, I've played this and I liked it when I first heard it, but then I played it so many times that all of a sudden, I just don't want to hear it again because I've played it so many damn times. But there are exceptions to the rule, and these 10, I think, are pretty decent exceptions. Well, there's a couple on there made it twice, and there's a couple people on there. There's a couple on the list where they made it to a certain point, but I'm also going to just say, there's one band in particular. We'll get to it when we get to it. That I actually had to stretch out. Okay, it's not just one album; it's 3 for one band, and I could probably do that for definitely a whole buttload of artists, but I'd only decided to do. I made the list, so let's just get into it, right? So one of these ones, and pay attention because it's not Dave Matthews Band, all right? Let's get that straight. It's Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds live at Luther College. And it's important to stress the difference between Dave Matthews Band and Dave Matthews live at Luther and Tim Reynolds because, every other year or so, or either every couple of years or something like that, in fact, this year is one of them, Dave Matthews decides to go on tour with this guitarist named Tim Reynolds. And he is phenomenal. And it's just him and the other guy, 2 acoustic guitars, and I think what's brilliant about the Live at Luther College one, although most of the ones, even the one in Vegas, and there's a couple others that he's done, they're all pretty good. But Live at Luther College was the first one I heard, so it's the one that's nearest and dearest to me. It was a big, epic snowstorm, and I had all these people over to my apartment for us to listen to it for the first time. It was great. But the background noises that Tim Reynolds gets, it's unbelievable. He is an incredible musician. It's not even about the solos, although the solos that he does are absolute perfection on an acoustic guitar. Very, very, very good. Very, very talented musician. But it's that background noises. He gets these hums that almost sound symphonic and everything like that. He plays with the volume control, and he makes some amazing music. And by the way, cheers! Happy Friday, everybody. The first one's always the hardest. Anyway, at number 9. Anyway, Live at Luther College. It's a double CD. Ugh. It's a shit ton of music, and I always go back to it. And I'm quite frankly, model a lot of my acoustical work after what I hear on that album, just because. So there's that. Number 9, I've got Pink Floyd. Put the Final Cut there. That's an album I frequently revisit, just because there's just a lot of really great lyrics, great songs, and Pink Floyd is definitely one of those bands that is the absolute heavyweight champion of knowing not how to not rush something and still make it brilliant. Very good at the pause, very good at the low key, making a point, very good at punching you in the face when you have to be punched in the face, or lulling you into that just soft tone of, I don't know, dreariness, and then and punching you with the angst of a painful moment or something. Pink Floyd's just incredible at that. All right, another one. I'm going to put Sarah McLachlan on there, Fumbling Towards Ecstasy, that specific album. It's I think the reason that album has always been there for me is because I've always traditionally been a metalhead. But when I was in my 20s, I found that after having an incredibly bad day when I was angry, it wasn't always a good idea to go in and pop on Slayer and, destroy my apartment. So I found that I needed a yin to my yang, so I turned to female vocalists, and for some reason, I stumbled across Sarah McLachlan in this album called Fumbling Towards Ecstasy. There's a song on there called Fear that she just takes her voice to heights that are incredibly nuts, not to mention the fact that she is the queen of harmonies as far as getting the best background singers and being able to get those harmonies to mix in with each other. She's a great singer, and she's a good vocalist, and she talks about some deep shit. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. All right, number 7. We're gonna get into my roots of metal. I'm a metal guy. What are you gonna say? Ride the Lightning, Metallica. Always an album that I can always revisit over and over and over again. Master of Puppets too. Master of Puppets as well. That's right there with it. Probably neck and neck. Those two albums go hand in hand. The ones on the other side I listen to, but I wouldn't say I listen to. I don't listen to And Justice for All that much. Sometimes I do, but I don't listen to it as much as I would listen to Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets. I don't listen to Kill 'Em All as much as I listen to Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets. Those are the two albums out of Metallica, the end, as far as like how much I fucking used to love listening to those guys back in the day. And then they kind of made some shitty stuff and turned me off to them for a little while. Now they're kind of trying to come back around again. Not easy to forgive them for the other stuff, though. So, as much as they try to go back to where they used to be, they'll never go. You can't go back. You just can't. Anyway, Tool. All right. Talk about music that lives in your car. I, generally speaking, plug my phone into my radio and listen to music for the most part. But I have 4 CDs in my car. I have 4 or 5 CDs in my car. Actually, I have Fumbling in my car too. But those 4 CDs that I always make sure that are in my car is 10,000 Days, Lateralis, Undertow, and Opiate. Those are the 4. Listen to 10,000 Days I listen to, but I think Lateralis and Undertow are probably the 2 Tool albums that I continue to go back to at number 6. Number 5, I put Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. Operation Mindcrime is an absolute classic metal album about revolt. and it's about so much more than that. But it's a rock opera, so it's always one of those ones that I like to go back to. Number 4, I put Pink Floyd, Animals. Animals is freaking awesome. It's nice force. It's a nice. It's like 4 or 5 songs on it. Their Dogs is freaking always just run through that. It's always awesome to listen to Dogs. If I'm driving, I'm always like, okay, Pink Floyd, because I know that they go on for a while. So if I'm going to the store, I'm not going to listen to Dogs if I know I'm only going to get through half of it. But if I'm on a road trip, I'm like, yeah, let's listen to some Floyd. Number 3, I put Alice in Chains, Facelift. Facelift is my preferred one. Dirt is probably in there somewhere too, but Facelift probably a little bit more so than Dirt. But Alice in Chains, gotta love Alice in Chains. Another one that always gets revisited by me at number 2 is going to be Slayer, Rain in Blood. Rain in Blood is one of those albums that I could probably listen to over and over and over again, back to back, per a couple of hours. And being the fact that you can listen to like 13 songs in about 25 minutes, you could do that. In 3 hours, you could probably listen to the album 7 or 8 times. Just saying. But whatever. And at number 1. So all this stuff is classic. I don't have anything new that I can. I guess you could say this is just kind of a classic list. I think there's newer things that I listen to, but nothing for me actually holds up over time as to being able to listen to it over and over and over again, and me wanting to constantly go back and revisit it, like albums like Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. It's been there since 1989 for me, and it never fails. It never fails. There's always, whenever I hear that tong 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 tong, loaded like a freight train, flying like a airplane, feeling like a space brain one more time tonight. Look out! No, I don't know. Whatever I do, I love that shit. I love that stuff, and I can never get enough. Anyway, that's all I got. I hadn't made a video in a few weeks, and I just wanted to make sure I touched base with y'all and, got back in the habit of doing these things because I like to reach out to my people and talk to them. As you've noticed, I haven't gotten political at all, and I'm not going to. There's no point for somebody like me to be political because I hate capitalism and everything it stands for. So, this president, the next president, the president after that, probably 2 or 3 more presidents after that are still going to embrace this whole freaking greedy form of empire, and and we're always going to live that way. See, I strive for the Star Trek universe where, like Captain Picard says in First Contact, money is no longer the driving force in our lives. We work to better ourselves and the rest of humanity, and that's the kind of civilization that I yearn for. So all of this other stuff that, that we're talking about here, as far as politicians are concerned, is all pretty much, semantics on the same evil empire. So, shit ain't gonna end in my lifetime. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I think I might have been better off just living in the Old West with Doc Holliday. But, he probably would have killed me. But, I don't know. Any of you guys want an update on my mom? I guess she's doing better. She's moved today from the main hospital to the nursing home facility that's going to be in charge of her rehab for the next 20 days. And then we'll see where we're at that point. So, it's a step-by-step journey. Obviously, I haven't been here on Facebook and haven't been myself and blah, blah, blah. People at work notice and everything like that because a lot of things have changed for me and it's just not going to go back. Things have changed for me and it is what it is. We just try to do the best we can with things in life, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep on singing. Speaking of which, a little homework assignment for y'all. I am trying to put together a set list for like a open mic kind of thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing like 2 songs or 5 songs, and I would love for anybody out there that has any suggestions of what they think that I could sing and might sing with an acoustic guitar and just me and an acoustic guitar. So try to keep that in mind. Any songs that you guys might want to hear me try and attempt to sing. It's acoustic guitar. I have a voice like, I don't know. I'm a singer. So It's not going to be like a folky Johnny Cash kind of thing. It's more like Bono sings over an acoustic guitar kind of thing. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not Bob Dylan, although I'm not opposed to doing Bob Dylan songs my way. Um, I do have a Simon and Garfunkel. I'm trying to do the Boxer, but I'm trying to put my own timestamp on it. So I don't know. Any suggestions you guys have, I would be delighted to hear them. Other than that, I love you all. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for somebody else.